Hello there, I'm Lloyd Evans. Welcome to The Bunker. It's time for another voicemail. Today's voicemail is from a caller named BB. Let's listen to what BB has to say.
Hi, Lloyd. My name is BB, and I am a person who knows somebody who has just recently rejoined Jehovah's Witnesses. He and I had been friends for almost 8 years, and our friendship was based in the gaming community. We played a wide variety of MMOs and other kind of games. And he even moved in, and we were roommates for almost 2 years. Or actually almost a year, excuse me. There was a point in our friendship where nothing was taboo. We were always very open, very honest. I mean, honestly, kind of crude and boorish, but that's nothing unusual for me in the first place. To be honest, I know how I am as a gamer, and I would never, ever judge somebody for being like I am. And I try not to judge at all, actually. And now I'm at that point where I am befuddled by some of the things that has happened in the last, believe it or not, 5 months. My friend, we'll call him Nick. He was a Jehovah's Witness along with his family, and he describes actually his parents as in Jehovah's Witnesses in name only. And even with that being the circumstance, one of the elder sons was molesting and raping him. And when he tried to bring that up, they did nothing to protect him. And I mean, even though if this was back in the 70s or whatever it was, or 80s, it's still ridiculous and still disgusting. And so that's why I'm so confused as to how all this happened in the first place. My friend had come out as homosexual, which I am totally cool with. I would always be cool with it. And my friend also decided that he was going to hang out with a group of people. Now, I've met these people. They were very cool. I liked them. One night, he went out drinking with them. Actually, it was like a whole Sunday. He came home and he drove home drunk. That's just like the basic of it. The afterwards of it was, by the next Sunday, he had started to go back to the Jehovah's Witnesses, to a church that I don't understand, couldn't protect him, so why would he go back? But that's just me. And then on top of everything, he was completely back into the religion in full, hardcore, within the week or two that he started studying with them. And what really bothers me about it is because now he wants absolutely nothing to do with me until I become Jehovah's Witness as well. So I suppose, is this something I need to walk away from and throw away a friendship that was almost 8 years long? Or is there a chance for me to still have that friendship with him? So thanks.
Thank you. And no, I don't think there is a chance for you to have that friendship unless things change dramatically. Unless your friend realizes that he's being conned and exploited by an organization that's already failed him in one of the worst ways imaginable. And aside from your friendship and aside from, the whole issue of, can it be salvaged? I suppose the main alarm bells for me are the fact that your friend was molested, and I don't know whether anything happened, whether the authorities intervened for this elder's son who molested him. I mean, were there any ramifications? Were there any consequences? Maybe your friend gave you more information and it just, it just wasn't included in the voicemail. Or maybe your friend didn't tell you everything, which obviously, when we're talking about abuse survivors, it's difficult to relate details, and it's difficult to go into these very painful experiences. But the biggest problem for me is the possibility that there is a Jehovah's Witness on the loose, or an elder's son on the loose. Maybe he's an elder now, after all this time has passed. What became of this individual who molested and raped your friend? Is he still at large? Is he still a threat to people? That would be my main concern. So if you aren't in a position to report, next time your friend gets in touch, or next time you have any communication, and it sounds like you're not having communication, but next time there is an opportunity, I guess I would be saying, in your shoes, if only so that I could have some peace of mind, and if only so that I could know that I'd done what I could, I would be saying, you need to report what happened, irrespective of whether you think this is God's one true organization or not. There's an individual out there who did this to you. What became of them? Are they still a threat to children? Maybe they did get reported. It does happen sometimes. Maybe they were reported to the authorities. Maybe the authorities know about them. I don't know. But that's my main issue, really. And as for your friendship, consider it over. I mean, what, you're going to join this religion just so you can continue this friendship? I don't think so, based on what you were saying. And yes, that's the sort of ultimatum that you give when you're a believing Jehovah's Witness. I think, unfortunately, it's quite tragic, really, because we're talking about, as well, about sexual repression. We're talking about an individual who has confessed to you to being gay and is feeling forced to go back to a group that denies him his very identity, that says, anyone who is a practicing homosexual deserves to die at Armageddon. He's going straight back into the arms of an organization that feels that way or thinks that way about him. Tragic, isn't it? But it's just the way things have fallen. Your life and his life intercepted at a moment or during a period in his life where he perhaps had more freedom, more clarity. And what has been happening in some instances, unfortunately, with COVID, is some people have been led along by this doomsday narrative of the organization. They've been bombarded with emails and phone calls from people they knew who were Jehovah's Witnesses saying, well, clearly Armageddon's upon us now because there's a pandemic. What are you going to do about it? When are you going to come back? Because the end's almost here. And guess what? You have one last chance to get your affairs in order, to come back to Jehovah's organization so that you can survive Armageddon, which, as we know, is imminent because there's a pandemic. So I think that's what's happened here. And I can imagine it's very, very distressing for you having developed this friendship. But all the while, the person that you thought you knew didn't really exist. because he had lurking within him this indoctrination that he had allowed to go unaddressed. When the indoctrination is in someone, it needs to be addressed. You need to do research. You need to convince yourself of why it's a lie, why you've been exploited. If he did no research whatsoever and left all of this indoctrination, all of this programming in his mind, that was lying dormant, but it was still there. And basically, he's been activated. He's been activated by the cult that programmed him. And he's not coming back unless he wakes up. And it's anyone's guess as to how long that will take, if it happens at all. He could, for all I know, remain a Jehovah's Witness now for the rest of his life, and you will feature in some form, perhaps in a future JW Broadcasting episode, where he gives a tearful, heart-tugging testimonial describing how he was once part of the gaming community and was a roommate for a worldly person for a year. It's tragic, I know, but that's where this really is headed, unless, again, things change dramatically and unexpectedly. But I do sympathize with your situation, and isn't it a crime that this organization does this to people's relationships, to people's friendships, so that you can befriend someone and they're not really who they say they are or who they think they are, because they have this programming still in them. So I hope some or all of what I've said has been helpful for you, at least in coming to terms with the situation. And again, if it is possible for you to pursue this historic child abuse and maybe help get it reported, I think that's definitely one area in which you could potentially make a difference. But viewers, if you would like to leave a voicemail, the thing to do is go to speakpipe.com/Cedars, remembering to indicate clearly if you don't want me to broadcast your message on my channel. But that's all we have time for. Don't forget to subscribe to the Lloyd Evans channel for more such videos. And as always, thank you for watching.